B here, and today it's time to take a look at another hex card mechanic in action, sockets. The socket mechanic was recently implemented in the last patch, and now we have the opportunity to customize some cards that have either the socketable major or socketable minor slot. So, sockets work by adding a gem, which is free. This gem adds additional features to the card as long as you fulfill the threshold requirement. To socket a card, you simply right-click the card to zoom in, and then left-click on the socket icon. Now remember, Hex is still in its alpha phase, so all of these UI elements and art will have massive upgrades before the game actually releases. So these are just placeholders. Once the socketing menu has opened, you're able to choose any of the available gems. By left-clicking on the socketed gem, the effect appears in the gems currently socketed section. Any card that has a major socket can accept either the prime gems or the standard gems. When you're in-game and you're able to fulfill the threshold requirement, for example with the Wild Orb of Conservation, the card will have the Spell Shield keyword once you have 2 Wild Threshold. For our example, we'll be using the Prime Sapphire of Mind gem. This requires 2 Sapphire Threshold, and when this troop deals damage to a champion, you draw a card. Once you've socketed one card, you simply click over to the second of 4, third of 4, and fourth of 4 in order to add gems to those cards as well. Now, this deck also has the Ancestors Chosen in it, which is the primary win condition of the deck. We'll be looking to use the augmented card draw from the Eldritch Dreamer in order to draw more Ancestral Spectres out of our deck. Now the deck's ready, let's go ahead and take it for a spin. Okay, so what we really want is an Ancestors Chosen in hand. Perfect. Okay, and that's a great amount of resources too. That's fantastic. Let's go ahead and keep that hand. Because the full card list isn't available for deck building currently, socketed cards really have a back seat at this point. There are some options for building a deck around a socketed card, but really the socketed cards now work much better as sort of a means to supplement another form of your deck or another win condition in your deck. For example, with this one, we're waiting for a bunch of Ancestral Spectres to get stuffed into our deck, and then we use the Eldritch Dreamer to supplement our card draw to start pulling more and more Spectres out. Okay. That's fine. And then once we get that solid card draw really rolling, then we're going to get a ton of flying creatures out, and hopefully more Dreamers out, which obviously do damage that can't be blocked. Okay, great. So now we've got the resources to get to the Dreamer, so let's go ahead and Flock of Seagulls for some early game blocking. And no, we will not attack with the Ancestors Chosen. It'll just get killed. Really, for this type of deck, you wouldn't be trading off the Ancestors Chosen to nearly anything, because you just want it to sit there doing nothing. Okay, Radiant Armor, that's fine. Wow, he's a 2/5, great. Fine, I just block him with a Flock of Seagulls. Obviously, an Inner Conflict would really mess the Flock of Seagulls day up. Okay, 3, I got nothing to do at 3 resources, so just chilling out and waiting. This game has some good early game defensive options. The Flock of Seagulls, we've got the Buccaneer to kick something back into hand, so we've got a lot of options to sort of stall out while we wait for this card draw to really start ramping up. Okay, he's 2/9. It's fine. So he's the perfect target right now for a polymorph, for sure. Get some more Spectres in that deck. Perfect. And another Flock of Seagulls, don't need that, but now we can get out that Eldritch Dreamer, and we'll just pass that on by. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to have some solid card draw, sort of escalating up. And from there we'll be pulling Spectres and really moving forward. So he still can't do anything because his Flock of Seagulls is in his way. And obviously he hasn't pulled an inner conflict or doesn't think that it's worthwhile spending it at that point. And that's fine. Let's get some more Spectres in that deck. And a Buccaneer. Okay. Well, I don't really need a Buccaneer, and I would... Let's play a resource, and let's attack so that we see what that card draw is. He can't block it, so that's just going to be a free 3 damage and a card as well. Perfect, yes. And what do I get? Another resource, that's fine. So I'm going to now Mimic, the the Eldritch Dreamer. So we get another one of those out in play, and we really start ramping up that card draw. Okay. So, obviously another alpha bug. What this should do is theoretically copy all aspects of it. So this would also give us the card draw, but unfortunately Mimic doesn't allow for that. So just use your imagination. Theoretically, this would be, doing two cards per turn. So we'll just excuse it. Again, this is the alpha, so there's lots of bugs. We are going to lay down a resource and continue, and let's go ahead and attack with both of these. And maybe it's just a visual bug. We'll see if we draw 2 cards. Can we get the one? Okay, no, just the one. Okay, that's fine. Ancestors chosen. We get another Ancestral Spectre out, which allows us to draw another card. And there's a Polymorph. I don't really care about either of these out right now, so basically I'm just going to shore up the another Chosen so we can get more of that card draw in place, throw out another Flock of Seagulls, and then that's fine. So obviously what would normally happen is I would have drawn 2 cards at that point, and hopefully another Spectre, and then thrown those out. Let's see what he's got. Not doing too well. Declare attack. It's fine. Obviously, I can just repulse anything that he throws out. And he's got nothing. Well, sad for him. But let's go ahead and get now 4 Spectres per turn. I would be normally, once the bug is cleared up, I would normally be drawing 2 cards per turn from that Eldritch Dreamer. There's another bug in play. Let's go ahead and attack, and attack. So we can get that card draw going. I think I accidentally skipped my first main phase. That's fine. We're not really worried about any of this. We're doing tons of unblockable damage. So, okay, get one of those out. We'll throw out the Air Superiority. We'll polymorph Dingler, his Righteous Paladin. Oh, whoop, it's a Dingler already. I was like, oh, what is that? Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we'll end that off. So once the Air Superiority is out, you would use up the charge, so you could give, say, like an Eldritch Dreamer, an extra +1/+1. He's playing out some more Quick Striders. That's perfectly fine. Prevents all combat damage, so does not matter. And here we go. We're going to swing in for lethal here, stuff some more Ancestral Spectres in our deck. The Eldritch Dreamers would be just trucking along with drawing cards. Obviously, each turn I would have played another Mimic, so I would have had 3 out. Not really important at this point because it's... let's draw some more cards. Yeah, definitely. Draw 2 more cards. More Ancestral Spectres. Play that out. Throw another Ancestral Spectre, which allows me to, again, draw another card. And I would have mimicked another of the Dreamers. At that point, it would have been 3 draws per turn, grabbing more and more Spectres, and just really taking it to the opponent. At that point, there's not much that he can do other than, like a full board wipe. But even then, as long as you play conservatively, if you're playing against something like, say, a Blood deck, you would just keep 1 Mimic in hand and a couple of the Ancestral Spectres in hand. And then you would just be able to keep swarming them out with that card draw that's supplemented by that major gem. So you can really see how socketing cards will allow you to really customize a deck and focus on a particular type of win condition, which can either sort of supplement it, as is this deck, or create an entirely new win condition with something like the Blood Gem that does direct damage when a troop enters play. So there's lots of different options, and obviously in future expansions, they could add even more gems, which increases all of the existing socketed cards and all of the options. So socketing becomes a very interesting mechanic, and another way that Hex, as a digital TCG, is really going to make some significantly unique impacts. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please take the time to subscribe. As always, I'm MSB, wishing you good games and good times.